Hey, what's up you guys? Marty Schwartz here with Marty Music, and I have something different for this video. One of my gaps in my guitar chops is the metal, I joke around, I say when I play heavy metal, it sounds like the Allman Brothers playing Metallica. I do enjoy the music, but it's not a natural thing for me. So I was going through YouTube and trying to find some guys out there that can help with the metal, that are truly come from that school and that influence, so maybe some of it can rub off on me. And so I am bringing a special guest to the channel right now to talk about just some basics of heavy metal guitar playing. And ladies and gentlemen, all the way from the United Kingdom, it is Jamie Slays.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, everyone.
Hey,
How's it
how
going?
are
Thanks
you?
for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you. So talk about yourself for a second.
I'm Jamie from Jamie Slays. I've been playing guitar like 15 years or so. And basically, like Marty said, always metal. That's pretty much all I do. It's just metal. If you want metal, come on over.
I want to just go over some basics of heavy metal. So what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to switch guitars. I have something in mind here for my heavy metal needs. What kind of guitar are you playing?
I've got an Ibanez, an Iron Label. It's my go-to. It's my workhorse. I love it.
So that Ibanez definitely is one of the main heavy metal guitars, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it's one of the heavy hitters. Definitely been around for a while now.
What band and guitar player got you into playing guitar and heavy metal in particular?
The most obvious one for me that stands out is James Hetfield of Metallica.
Awesome.
He is my god, so he is the down-picking master.
That's a really good answer because I feel like he is the epitome of that heavy metal rhythm. Is it true he 100% down picks, or are there times where he up picks?
Nah, he doesn't 100% down pick. Definitely, I'd say definitely as being a big fan boy, in the studio, he makes sure that a lot of things are down picked, but when he's playing live, understandably, there's some stops because he's doing vocals also, and there's definitely some ups in there as well.
Oh, okay.
But there's specific songs that are like, they have to be down picked. Master of Puppets being one of them.
What do you think about this one?
Look at that.
Is this...
I love it. The Tiger Stripes. The Kramer as well.
Yeah,
Taking
this
it back,
is
old school. There's nothing more metal than Tiger Stripes.
So you've got the Ibanez, I've got the Kramer. All right, so I've got a Boss Katana amp. You can just verbally help me with the Boss Katana setup.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I know the tone settings that you can use.
Okay, perfect. Well, I've come to the right place. Okay, so I'm going to turn the Boss Katana on. Now, you are familiar with the Boss Katana. So
I have the mini one.
So there's the lead sound and there's the brown sound, and those are just like levels of overdrive. James Hetfield, we'll just use him as our bass line. Did he turn his mids down?
Stereotypically, the Metallica setting is full bass, no mids at all, full treble. And it's kind of like the most scooped mid sound you want. And then possibly full gain if you're not using any boost pedals.
Okay.
If you're using passive pickups, you can go with full gain. Otherwise, you might want to use a boost if you're using actives.
All right, so that's what I'm going to start with. So I'm going to go to the lead, not the brown, but the lead.
Yeah.
And
we want no reverb.
It's very loud.
We want it as close to the cab as we can get.
Okay, so I'm just turning the volume down, but I'm going to turn the gain almost all the way up, the bass all the way up. Wow, I didn't know that. The mids all the way down.
Yep.
Does he have reverb at all, or only for parts?
I would say if I was speaking to someone like yourself and nobody really does this, I would use no reverb whatsoever.
Okay.
You want it as tight and as kind of clean and as pick attack as you can get it.
And then what about presence?
I think presence is one of those personal preference ones, but I tend to personally lean towards 7, 8 o'clock.
So I've got the tone, but I would say the main thing next would be a James Hetfield thing, right? He does lots of chugging on that open E string, right?
Yeah.
So can you maybe show me an exercise that I can do to improve it? Obviously the palm muting part of it, the tone of it.
So when you're doing some chugging palm muting, you want to use the meaty bit of your hand, and you want to basically rest it on the bridge. With the Floyd Rose, sometimes you can use that as a guide, because there's the fine tuners act as a guide, and you want to play the chugs so that they sort of ring out. You don't want to choke them off too much. You don't want to bring your hand closer to here. You want to keep it kind of basically to the right smidge of the pickup itself. So when you're chugging out like this, they should ring out slightly, like that.
So you're still muting it, but it's
yeah. I'd call it a purr. It's purring out. It's
okay.
So I'll start with basically no palm muting, which is.
Now, how do you build up speed? Do you use a metronome, or do you practice to a song at a slower pace and then build it up to speed?
So I would personally, and have personally, used both metronomes and programs like Guitar Pro, where you can change the speed. Playing along to songs can be difficult because the tunings tend to be varied, especially with the tape pitch changing. But I personally, I'm no stranger to using a metronome, as much as most people don't enjoy that. But yeah, I would do the whole, start slow, work your way up, make sure that your technique is there. And I'm a big fan of, nailing it 100% at a certain tempo, then jumping up, never rushing, because, you get a lot of people doing, they kind of, and then there's like one section of the song that's like in time and the rest of it's really slow. So make sure you can play all of it at 100% that tempo and then jump it.
Cool. Do you play your own heavy metal music?
Yeah. So I have my music on, iTunes and Spotify, just under Jamie Slay's. And I have my own original songs that I've written. It's something that I enjoy. I don't get a lot of time to do that, but I do enjoy that quite a lot. It's quite fun.
Do you have vocals with it, or is it instrumental?
Some of the songs I've done EPs in the past that have vocals, but I tend to recently it's more instrumental stuff. But it is almost like just taking James Hetfield out of Metallica and just playing a Metallica song. They're not songs that are written instrumentally like Steve Vai or Joe Satriani. Although I do love that kind of music, I don't think I'm quite there yet. I'm more of a let's just take the vocalist out of the metal song.
Yeah.
That's my vibe.
What are 2 or 3 Metallica songs you recommend people learning to get into it? I would say Enter Sandman's a great entry into playing their music. Yeah. But then Master of Puppets, you go back.
Yeah, so some of the songs, I've in the past done like a levels of Metallica from 1 to 10, like easiest songs all the way to hardest. You've got your Blackened and you've got your Master of Puppets at the farther end, Creeping Death, and then down towards the other end you've got Fade to Black, you've got Welcome Home Sanitarium, Kill 'Em All. That album has got quite a lot of songs that are varied in terms of how fast they're played. But yeah, Enter Sandman is one of the best ones. Like, it's the most common one that people will know. Nothing Else Matters is great, but that's a lot of finger picking, so it's very difficult, dexterous, that kind of stuff. For yourself, you might be great at that, though.
They always have so many parts in those classic songs.
Definitely.
They're like operas.
Like Kirk doing stuff as well. It's crazy.
Can you, well, thank you, by the way, for hanging out and just giving us some intro pointers. There were some good tips on the amp thing that I didn't know, so that was cool. Also, I'm going to just start practicing more. Once again, people can check out Jamie Slay's YouTube channel. We'll have a link for it below. I appreciate your time. And can you just play some heavy metal now on Marty Music Channel?
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I'll play myself out with some riffs.
Please do. Please do.
This is one of my favorite Metallica riffs, which is Battery from the album Master of Puppets.
Oh, yeah.